if you could twist gravity, like if you could exert torsion to gravity, do you think that that
Yes.
would improve plasma fusion at all?
It could. Um, uh, the One of the key physics findings of the gem theory was derived from plasma physics, an effect in plasma physics called an E cross B drift. You can look it up on
I'm familiar
Wikipedia.
with it. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, sure. You don't know what an E cross B. So yeah, it affects all charges, all masses the same way. And so it's certainly possible that if we could create artificial gravity fields and make our own star, um, making artificial gravity fields, then we know in nature that that works.
So torsion is the key then.
Well, there's aspects to I'm gravity theory is based on tensors, which the lowest mathematical item is the scalar, a pressure, the same in every direction. Then there's vectors, and then there's tensors, especially 4x4 tensors, and that's what gravity theory is based on. And it's possible to one of the things you can describe with a tensor is a rotation, and that's a torsion. So it's kind of an obvious question to ask. Can you have that degree of freedom in gravity fields, creating a torsion type of disturbance?
It is odd, isn't it?
And
How in the world of modern physics, how the word torsion is taboo. It's like it's a word that kind of
oh,
disappeared a century ago.
you gotta understand the U.S. government controls science in this country because it controls the money supply. And let me tell you, I've taught at universities, and especially this one university I taught, and I never worked in a more money grubbing place. I worked at defense contractors that were more interested in real science than they were at this university. And so what happens is the government
Twitter, I'm going to draw it
says,
down.
What was
hello?
that?
Wow, that was
Ain't no way,
Right.
bro.
That was
What
wild.
the hell?
I didn't even answer your question.
I've
You
never
still
heard.
there?
no, I had to drop him down.
Okay,
I
well,
never heard anything like that,
Well,
man.
royalties
I'll
in the
just,
space.
I'll just summarize this. Einstein explored kind of torsion theory in his attempt to unify the fields, but he ultimately abandoned it and embraced the Kaluza-Klein effort. So it's just it's an interesting problem. There's here's like the electromagnetic. You can actually write the electromagnetic field as a tensor. So you have the gravity kind of tensor, then you have the electromagnetic field tensor, and the gravity tensor is non-torsional, and the electromagnetic field tensor is torsional. So you can somehow argue that one is kind of hiding in the other, but the mathematics to me that I use in the gem theory is that you use what's called the energy stress tensor, which is non-torsional by definition. and that equates to the gravity tensor. So it's but there's a Nobel Prize waiting for somebody who can prove. But here's the other thing: the government doesn't want us working on torsion because that gets us back to Einstein's theory of field unification, which said you could change gravity with E&M fields. And the government definitely did not want anybody working on anti-gravity. They didn't. So they would just not fund you. And guess what? If you're at a university and you can't get funding for your grants, you don't get tenure. You don't end up being dean of arts and sciences. You know, you got to bring in money. And if the government just says, if you're not going to play ball with us and keep talking about this torsion thing, we're not going to give you any money, then you have to make a choice of whether you're going to be a professor that never gets tenure, or you're going to have to play ball with the government and say, okay, I agree, no torsion. And so that's how the government controls what gets investigated in science and what doesn't get investigated. And they did not want people investigating unified field theory, unifying gravity and E&M. I can tell you that. So they've gaslit the entire academic establishment to work on string theory. And they've wasted 30 years of science.